There was a boy named Ethan. He was quiet, kind, and always there, but somehow no one really noticed him. He walked through the hallway every day. People passed by him without looking. It was like he was invisible. In class, Ethan sat in the middle row. He listened carefully and did his work, but no one spoke to him. The teacher asked a question. Ethan knew the answer. He thought about raising his hand. But then he stopped. Someone else will say it, he thought, and someone always did. The teacher praised another student. Good job, she said. Ethan lowered his eyes quietly. I knew that too, he whispered to himself, but no one heard him. At lunch, the room was full of noise and laughter. Ethan carried his tray slowly, looking for a place to sit. He sat alone at the corner table. He ate quietly. Conversations filled the room, but none included him. He watched others laugh and talk. I wish I could be part of that, he thought, but he stayed silent. After school, Ethan walked home alone. The street was quiet, his thoughts were not. Maybe I'm just not interesting, he said softly. The idea stayed in his mind. He remembered small moments. Times he tried to speak but wasn't heard. Times people forgot he was there. Why does no one notice me? He asked. The question had no answer. At home, Ethan sat in his room. Everything was quiet, too quiet. He checked his phone. No messages, no notifications, nothing. Maybe it wouldn't matter if I wasn't here, he whispered. The thought scared him. He stared at the ceiling. His chest felt heavy. He didn't know how to change things. Suddenly, a soft light appeared. The room became calm and still. Ethan slowly sat up. The walls faded away. Ethan found himself in a glowing space. It felt quiet, but not lonely. Ethan stood still, looking around. The space felt peaceful, not empty. Where am I? He whispered. A gentle man appeared in front of him. You are somewhere safe, he said softly. A place where you can see clearly. See what? Ethan asked. His voice was quiet, but curious. He wanted answers. Your life, the man said. A vision slowly appeared in front of them. Ethan saw himself sitting in class. The same moment from earlier, replayed again. Everything looked normal. He watched closely. He saw himself thinking, hesitating, and staying silent. It felt strange to see it from the outside. His past self lowered his hand before raising it. No one noticed him. The moment passed again. I remember this, Ethan said. I wanted to answer. His voice sounded distant. And why didn't you? The man asked gently. Ethan looked down. I thought someone else would say it better, he said. I didn't want to be wrong. The vision shifted to the lunchroom. Ethan saw himself sitting alone again. A group nearby was laughing and talking. There was a small pause in their conversation. For a moment, there was space for someone new to speak. Ethan saw it clearly now. But his past self stayed silent. He looked down at his tray. The moment passed quickly. The group continued talking. No one noticed him. But now Ethan saw something different. "They didn't ignore me," Ethan said slowly. "I never joined them." The man nodded. "People cannot notice what does not show itself," he said calmly. Ethan stayed silent. The truth felt heavy. "So I made myself invisible?" he asked. "Not on purpose," the man said, "but your fear kept you hidden." Ethan took a slow breath. "So it's not that I don't matter," he said. "It's that I never showed myself." Ethan stood silently after hearing the truth. His chest felt tight again. "So, I did this to myself?" he asked quietly. "I kept waiting for people to notice me," he said, "but I never showed who I was." His voice began to shake. The man didn't interrupt. He allowed Ethan to feel everything. This moment mattered. "I felt so alone," Ethan said, "like I didn't belong anywhere." His eyes filled with tears. "I thought no one cared," he whispered. "I thought I didn't matter." The words came out slowly. The space around him became dimmer. His sadness filled the air. Everything felt heavy. "Maybe I should just stay quiet," he said. "Maybe that's who I am." His voice sounded tired. A vision appeared. Ethan saw himself in the future, still quiet, still alone. The older Ethan sat by himself again. The same silence surrounded him. Nothing had changed. "No, I don't want that," Ethan said quickly. Fear filled his voice. "Then you must choose differently," the man said. "You cannot stay hidden and expect to be seen." "But I'm scared," Ethan said. "What if I try and people still ignore me?" "Then you try again," the man replied. "Being seen is not one moment. It is a process." Ethan stayed quiet. The fear was still there, but something else was growing too. The light around him began to brighten again. His breathing became slower, more steady. "I don't want to disappear anymore," Ethan said. His voice was still soft, but stronger. The man nodded. "Then show yourself," he said, "even if it feels uncomfortable." Ethan nodded. "I don't need to be loud," he said. "I just need to be present." "That is enough," the man said. The glowing space began to fade around them. Ethan closed his eyes. "This time, I won't hide," he whispered. Ethan slowly opened his eyes. The morning light filled his room. He sat up, remembering everything clearly. "I won't hide today," he whispered. His heart beat a little faster, but this time he didn't turn away from the feeling. He got ready like every other day, but inside something had changed. He was preparing to show himself. At school, the hallway was full of noise again. Students talked and laughed around him. The same world, but a different Ethan. His chest tightened. The fear returned quickly. What if nothing changes? He thought. He stopped for a moment. It's okay to be scared, he told himself. Just don't hide. He walked into the classroom. His steps were small, but steady. He chose not to disappear. A group of students was talking nearby. Ethan stood close enough to hear them. The moment felt familiar. There was a short pause in their conversation. Ethan noticed it. His heart beat faster. This is the moment, he thought. His mind told him to stay quiet, but he didn't listen this time. Hey, I saw that game too, Ethan said softly. His voice was not loud, but it was clear. The group turned toward him. Ethan froze for a second. This was new. Oh, yeah? What did you think? One of them asked. The moment didn't disappear. Ethan took a small breath. I thought it was really exciting, he said. His voice became steadier. The conversation continued for a few seconds. It wasn't long, but it was real. Ethan was part of it. Ethan stepped back slightly. His heart was still racing, but he felt something new. They didn't ignore me, he thought. I just needed to speak. The realization felt powerful. The teacher began the lesson. Ethan sat down at his desk. He felt more present than before. A question was asked. Ethan knew the answer again. His heart started beating fast. This time he raised his hand, not high, but enough to be seen. And for the first time, he didn't lower it. The teacher looked toward Ethan. Yes, Ethan, she said. His name was spoken clearly. Ethan felt nervous, but he didn't freeze. He took a small breath. Then he began to speak. He gave his answer. It wasn't perfect, but it was clear. His voice stayed steady. Good answer, the teacher said. Ethan felt a small warmth inside. It was new, but real. A student nearby looked at him, not in judgment, but in recognition. Ethan noticed it. He sat a little straighter. His body felt different, more present, more real. The class continued as usual, but for Ethan, everything had changed. He was no longer invisible. He listened carefully, not as someone hiding, but as someone participating. The difference was inside him. After class, Ethan walked into the hallway. The same crowd was there, but he didn't feel lost in it anymore. Hey, Ethan, someone said. That was a good answer. Ethan turned, slightly surprised. Thanks, he said. His voice was calm. This time, he didn't overthink it. He continued walking down the hallway. His steps felt more solid. He was no longer shrinking himself. After school, Ethan stepped outside. The sunlight felt warm on his face. He took a deep breath. "I didn't become someone else," he said quietly. "I just stopped hiding." He remembered the glowing space. The man's words echoed in his mind. "Show yourself." "I can do that," Ethan said, "even if it feels uncomfortable." His voice was steady. From that day on, Ethan spoke more. Not all the time, not perfectly, but more than before. He joined small conversations. He answered questions. Step by step, he became more visible. The school stayed the same. People didn't suddenly change, but Ethan did. Ethan learned that he was never invisible. He was just hidden behind his fear. Remember, the world cannot see you until you show yourself.